Welcome aboard. You're now about to take a ride with Master Boxing. My name is Eric Bradley and I thank you guys for watching us. You're watching Master Boxing and we're about to get into some funky stuff in the boxing game. Robert Garcia was on the record saying that he felt like it was about time for guys like Freddy Roach to retire. And the reason why I'm bringing this topic up is because you're right. Freddy Roach is in a position that he's training one of the top athletes on in the entire planet. And the fact of the matter is, whenever you're training an athlete of that with that level of cachet, like a Manny Pacquiao, you got to be able to do things that he's able to do. You can't just barely be hanging on by a thread. The fact that he's going in there on a daily basis, medicated up because he has Parkinson's. Sometimes you got to know when to hang the hat up, and whenever it's time for you to put that coaching sheet back up in the drawer, file it away forever. Sometimes you got to be willing to do it because there are other people out there that are prepped and primed to take that guy's the rest of that guy's career to the next level. Manny Pacquiao is a dynamic athlete and he can do things. He still has a lot left in the tank, but you can't pull it out of him if you can barely hang on in a training camp. One thing that was noted during this event is I know guys like Coach Robert Garcia was there. I'm assuming that he was there at the fight. And also there was one other person that also made note to this. I won't disclose the person's name because they didn't want this exposed and they didn't want to be tied to this comment. But the fact of the matter is Freddie Roach was in the corner, frozen. He choked. And I wondered at the post-fight press conference why he was so quiet. Even at the fight, after the announcing of the winner, he was frozen. It was just take a look at him. You can rewind it and look at it. If you don't have it on DVR, you can watch it Saturday. It'll be on HBO and Showtime. So just take a look at him. Freddie Roach is sick physically. I'm going to go ahead and say who said it. It was Alex Ariza. One of the things that I can appreciate is because he did speak the truth. Yeah, it feels good for him to be able to say something like that about a Freddie Roach. But look at him. His body language after that fight. And Coach Robert Garcia made it clear that if you look at Freddie Roach during that fight, he didn't have a game plan. He promised and swore that he had game plan for 5 years for that fight. Now, if you game plan 5 years for a fight, you should have won every round or knocked Floyd out within 5. Game planning is we got a plan to execute, and all we got to do is go out there and do it. Everybody's hurt in fights. Anytime you train at a superior level with supreme athletes, you're going to always be hurt. There's not one athlete that's out there playing anything that's not hurt because that comes with the sport. When you get to a point where you can't do what you need to do, then that's injured. But when you got sprains and tweaks and pains and mild tears, all that is a part of it. You can't train 6 days a week, 5-6 hours a day and not be injured. Every athlete is injured. Some of them overcome whatever the situation or the obstacle is. Bernard Hopkins fought Antoine Eccles with one arm. Vander Holyfield fought Michael Moore with one arm. These guys, Andre Ward, fought his entire professional career with a bum shoulder. I mean, you can't use, I got a torn rotator cuff, when especially you tore it in the fight. Because when you hit him in that 4th round with that 20 piece, that's when it got aggravated to the most. But you fight through that because at that point, that's just pain. Let me tell you something about a rotator cuff. It comes from lateral movement. It's a lateral movement pain. So when your punches are going straight, it doesn't affect you anyway. And throwing a hook won't affect it too much because, like I said, Andre Ward fought his entire professional career with a bum shoulder. He just recently got it fixed. I had a fighter. My boy had the same situation. Bad shoulder. Got it fixed finally. But fought like 8 fights with it. It's just an excuse to cover up what really happened. The fact of the matter is Freddie Roach dropped the ball Saturday night. He choked up. The stage got too big and the lights got too bright. He is come to an end. He's had 2 decades of reigning on top with top fighters like James Toney, Mike Tyson, Pacquiao. It's time to hang it up. When you can't pull the trigger in your fighter's mind so he can pull the trigger in the ring, that's when it's time. When your fighter has basically become your father, it's time. When he's not responding to you, when it counts most, like a fight of this magnitude, it's time. This is neither here nor there. Floyd Mayweather was on the record speaking about the conditions of the hotel room that Manny Pacquiao was staying in when he went over there to discuss making the fight. Floyd Mayweather is a businessman and he's shrewd and he's becoming a business mogul. And I know what his objectivity is. Because after fighting Pacquiao, if they fight a rematch, you can believe that Manny Pacquiao respects Floyd Mayweather. And he will team up with Mayweather, you can believe it or not, and fight his last couple of fights after his Top Rank deal's up. Because Floyd was on the record consistently saying how bad Top Rank is treating him. Floyd believes in taking care of the fighter. He will definitely take care of someone like Pacquiao because Pacquiao brings a lot to the table. And he's going to fight a couple of more years. So he'll be fighting after Floyd. And Floyd could really take onus on his career. And could you imagine how freaking cool that kind of partnership would be? You know, just the relationship and how they've been tied in history. It will be one of the first times that two fighters of that magnitude would actually partner up and become fighter and promoter. I just truly feel that Floyd Mayweather has something special inside for Pacquiao because he looks at the way Bob Arum is treating him and he knows that Bob Arum knows that Manny is from the Philippines and he knows that he's not really used to a sweet deal. He's been on the record constantly speaking about how horrible the contractual situation is that Manny Pacquiao's been handed down by Bob Arum. And that's why Bob Arum probably locked him in for this next deal anyway before Floyd Mayweather can get his clutches on him. Because in order to make the fight that just happened, Floyd Mayweather said that Bob Arum could not be a part of the negotiations. And for the most part, he wasn't. But he said that because he wanted to bring Pacquiao into his camp. And that's what it is, people. When you see the game at this level, and like I said, I've been a part of it. I've done dealings with Gary Shaw, Don King. These guys are true sharks in the game of boxing. We don't even call them sharks. We call them whales. So much money that they can't even count it. Now, when you got the guys that are coming out of the fight game into promoting like Mayweather is, what you can see now is the fact that Floyd wants the fighter to be taken care of, whereas these other businessmen that come into the game and lawyers, they're in it to win it for themselves. And that's pretty much what it is. And that's why guys like Bob Arum and Don King dominated the sport, because they nixed out anyone else trying to step into the game and interrupt what they had going on. It's sort of like a mafia. It's organized crime, but in the sport of boxing. And those guys make a lot of money. So much money, like I said before, they can't even count it. Hand over fist, decade after decade. For the past 50 years, these guys have had their hands in the pot, taking big percentages and purses over all of these humongous purses that have happened. You know, so think about it, you know. Floyd is looking to change the game around. And from the way that he is handling his business in Rock Nation Sports, it looked like TMT and Rock Nation Sports are going to be the future of boxing, along with Al Heyman. And you can truly believe that Pacquiao is going to be in some kind of parade very soon. And I'm not talking about a parade downtown. I'm talking about a parade and of things of epic proportions coming to fruition and then coming full circle. And he's changing his mind and he's changing his corner. Hopefully he realizes that it's time to pass the buck. Freddy Roach is too old. He needs a new surrounding. Yeah, you can still be around, but if you want to win and continue to cement your legacy, you got to get rid of those who cannot further help you. It's not being unloyal. It's just calling a shot as you see it. They call me the Fight Doctor, and I thank you guys for watching. Right now you're watching Master Boxing, and this is where we break the fight world down, bringing everything to you live, round by round.